All right, welcome back. We have a guest in the studio, Victor Okoro. He's a former national team player and also team manager of the home-based D Tigers. And he's also the PA to the president of Nigerian Basketball Federation, talking about Musa Kida. But then we have Victor Okoro in the studio. Victor, good morning. It's good to have you.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
All right.
Okay, now, what do you make of the Tigers' victory? Let's start from there before we talk about the guys.
That should be the first thing.
Well, I mean, for us, it's something we looked forward to from the last 2 months. Yesterday was the icing on the cake, and I want to use this opportunity to say congratulations to all the stakeholders of basketball that have been very supportive in one way or the other. It's been a wonderful journey. We are happy that we reached this point yesterday.
Okay, which is a good one. The girls, when are they coming home, today or tomorrow?
We are expecting them today.
Today?
Yes.
Okay, do we have a reception plan for them or just usual, nothing much?
Well, I don't know about usual, but I know that they are African champions and they will receive what African champions are supposed to receive when they come back to Nigeria.
Okay. All right. Okay.
We're waiting for that. So we can't wait for that rousing welcome.
All right. So let's just go. Let's go. Let's talk about basketball. Let's talk about basketball. We're done. Yeah, we're done with the ladies. So let's just talk about the Tigers and quickly move on the show. Less than 3 weeks to the main one, and we've seen a lot about the preparations. I mean, are there other things that is being lined up to intensify preparations and so that we can gear up properly for the main one?
Well, as per the Tigers, the federation has really done enough. So much. But so much also is still required, and the way it is right now, the federation has really pushed the Tigers for the last 1 month and a half. They've been in camp in the US, in Atlanta. They've gone to Canada for friendly games. And if you know, for the last 2 years, the Tigers have only lost 1 game out of more than 14 games they played, and last week, we were rated 8 best in the world, which is a feat that has not been achieved by any African team. And we are going into the World Cup, with a whole lot of expectations, and so we are hoping that by the time we get to World Cup proper, everything will be sorted out.
I know there are other issues you want to talk about. Let me just throw this in quickly. Talk about the FIBA World Cup. As somebody who has played the game, as somebody who is emotionally invested in the men's national team, how far do you think the guys can go? Looking at the preparation, looking at the hurdles they will have to cross, how far? Or what can they do that to you will be termed as success at the tournament?
Well, for us in the federation, we have set goals.
All right.
Okay, so far the ladies have achieved that. And in Africa, the men have also. But going to the world, right now we have almost the best crop of players that we can get from Nigeria, from the NBA, from Europe, who are happy to come to Nigeria to play for the country. We have set goals, but the set goal that we have is for us to do the best that we can do and then put Nigeria on the map in the world. That the players have told me personally that they hope to be on the podium by the end of the World Cup.
Wow.
And for us, it comes from the fact that they understand what the federation is about. They understand what the country needs right now in terms of international recognitions, in terms of opening up the country to sporting. How do I put it? To making Nigeria a sport tourism, especially in basketball.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in line with what the federation is planning for the country, the Tigers are also willing and ready to make sure that Nigeria is put on the map as we expect.
All right.
Okay, talking about putting on the map, before we get there, I mean, he mentioned it earlier concerning the story about funds not being released to the guys. What's the current situation now? And they were supposed to travel today, but I don't think that's possible anymore.
As of today, we still don't have funds from the
Sports
government.
Ministry.
Yeah, it's from the sports ministry. We can say that, the funding we've had from last 2 months has been the effort of the president, Engineer Musa Kida, for both men and female. And for us, it's something that we hope can be looked into. We hope that the federal government of Nigeria will come to our aid. I mean, basketball is putting Nigeria up there, like football. You know, I want to personally say that we're doing better than football right now. You know, and I don't see the reason why we cannot be helped, as the case is. You know, for us, it's 1/10 of what is given to football. If we get it, we'll rule the world.
Okay, I think I like that. Now, another, before you come in, another situation, scenario is this. You guys are supposed to travel to the 19th. When are you traveling for China? Because you mentioned that it was just weeks away, the 31st, right?
Yeah.
That's when the tournament is starting, and today is 19th.
It's always been a selfless effort by the president. You know, he's making sure that something is done, even while we wait for the ministry to see if they're going to respond to our pleas. We've been on this case for like 1 year. You know, they've known that we're going to go to the World Cup. You know, it's not something that we did yesterday. We've written letters to the ministry, you know, and a whole lot have been done, you know, but there's no cash back in for us up till now. The federation is still going ahead to see what they can do to make sure that the team leaves. This team is supposed to be playing a tournament before the World Cup starts, and they're supposed to be in China by tomorrow. I don't see how that will happen if the government doesn't come to our aid.
So if the funds are not coming, so that means they're going to stay here until it comes. Because some of the players are saying they've been the one, I mean, sometimes they have to pay for their accommodations and all that, which is not supposed to be.
No, for everything, the federation has been taking care of it. I mean, it's hard. It's really hard, you know, being that you're taking care of the female team at the same time the male team. You know, they're flying around the whole world,
And
playing
there are some
friendlies.
other national teams as
yes, playing friendlies, you know. You have to pay allowances, you have to pay hotel bills, you have to feed the players, you have to take care of their insurance, you have to also make sure that whatever it is that they need, they get. And that's the result you saw for the Tigers. Now, we are hoping that we cannot do less for the Tigers. You know, whatever it is that we've given the Tigers to achieve this feat, we also believe that the boys are supposed to get.
All right. Within the few, today is 19, 31, that's less than 2 weeks, right?
Just 2 weeks.
Can a lot, what can be done if you are a neutral person and somebody says, what can be done to salvage, I mean, let's forget about the problems if we can. It's not easy. But let's put the problems aside. Now we have less than 2 weeks to go. What are the things that could be done to salvage the situation?
This morning, when I was coming to your channel, to your studio, I heard the president congratulating the Tigers.
The Tigers.
The Tigers. It means that he's listening. I also believe that today he's listening. I also believe that today he's going to be briefed about what is happening. You know, I'm hoping that that's where our...
That's the only realistic solution.
Yes, okay. That is only based on what is happening in the country right now.
Rescue. Wow. Okay. President needs to come to the rescue. That's what it's looking like right now. Before we let you go, now, you are the team manager for the home-based guys. We know none of them is here. We understand for 2 years now we haven't had a league and all that because of the whole situations, politics and all that. But that's not our problem this morning. The problem now is the guys had to travel by route to Mali and they arrived on the match day. Was it because of this same funding situation? And why did you guys have to wait very late to travel and get to the match venue on that same day?
Well, for the Mali trip, it was an intervention by the president. It was a case of us not going for the competition and paying a $25,000 fine for not being there and for the country to be represented. We looked at the whole indices and we thought that
the stress is worth it.
Yes, the stress is worth it. You know, for the fact, like you said, we've not played a very a league that we want to call the kind of league that we want to play in Nigeria. You know, and the players are available. We decided to see if we could expose them because there's a plan, you know, in the federation to make sure that by 2020, 2021, we'll have 50% of our national team from the home. You know, there's also a plan to make sure that the league starts. You know, we've had problems about the league, but the federation, in its own wisdom, is looking at the calendars, you know, and hoping that we can run our league the way it's run in Europe. You know, most of the times we will only start from January. We are hoping that we can start from October and end when other leagues end, and so that our players will be in shape when they go for African championships. If you've noticed, in the last 15 years, every time we go for African tournaments, we just go and attend. The federation wants to change that. They want to make sure that every time we go for an African tournament, we'll come at least the first 4. because that's what happens in the international, you know, so there shouldn't be any difference what happens at the local. So we're looking at that very well, and in the next 2 months, we should have a league that is what everybody has been looking forward to.
All right.
Okay. That's a hope and prayer. Any final words from you before we go on a break?
For today, I'm hoping that the ministry will come to our aid. I'm hoping that the president will come to our aid. The team needs to leave as quickly as possible. In fact, on the next flight from Nigeria, anytime today. And if they come to our aid, we'll appreciate it. And we'll promise that the team is going to represent the country very well.
All right. Okay. So, Victor Okoro, we want to thank you for your time on the show this morning. And we do hope that everybody that needs to listen to your appeal would have listened, and something will be done.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, so we need to go on a quick time out, just a time out. When we return, we'll talk about the Onitsha City Marathon, and we'll also talk about the other issues in the amazing world of sports. Join us again.